Welcome to Inland Empire Alive, bringing you issues, events, and perspectives from throughout San Bernardino and Riverside counties. I'm David Brady, and in today's show, I'll welcome Emily Watson to talk about the past, present, and future of 4-H programs in San Bernardino County. That's today on Inland Empire Alive. Joining me now to talk about the past, present, and future of 4-H programs in San Bernardino is Emily Watson. Emily, welcome to the program.
Hi, thank you.
So I always like to start at the very beginning. Tell me about how 4-H began as a program in the country.
So we've been around since 1902. Our main goal is to give youth members life skills through hands-on, education. So we started off trying to give kids whose families were rural, don't have a lot of skills for growing up and moving out of the house. So not all kids want to be farmers like their parents, obviously. There's not a lot of money in it right now, besides if you are in big farm. But if you have a small farm, most kids want to go out and, move away from home, do what they want to do with their passions and sparks. And then, we tried to guide them and help them, and it's evolved over the years. So at first we were all livestock, and now we are all over the place.
Well, that's something I think is very interesting. I think a lot of people who have heard about 4-H or maybe belonged in the past, they think it's just livestock. It's just, I'm raising an animal that I'm going to sell at the county fair, but there's so much more to it than that. Talk to me about the variety of programs beyond just ag.
Well, right now we have a whole group in Redlands. Their main focus is the first robotics competition. They are actually going there, competing, and they're all robotics. That's what they do. They do that and gardening, which is, nothing related to animals. Does that surprise
people? Yeah, when they say, where are the animals?
It
Where's
does.
the barn?
They're like, they always say, well, I thought you were just animals. And I'm like, no, we're not animals. We do animals, but
is that a challenge to kind of overcome that perception that, 4-H was born in another era where a lot of kids, as you say, were expected to sort of grow up on the family farm and take over, and that's not really, the way people sort of live their lives today.
Yes, so our main goal right now is to have kids find their sparks, so find their passions. And our 4-H is youth run and volunteer led, meaning we have youth adult partnerships. So the kids find their passions and the adults guide them and help them.
So I want to let the folks know how long this has been going on in the county. So you said officially you were chartered in the county in 1957. That's 67 years. But you actually mentioned it goes back even further.
Yes, so we have a club from Hinckley. They've been around since 1937. We've had a club in Bloomington since about the mid-50s, and Chino, which is about the 50s.
So deep roots in the community here.
Yes.
And actually, I guess before we let any more time go by, I should have you let folks know, what are the 4-H's?
So our 4-H's are head, health, hands, and heart. And every meeting, the kids always say their pledge. So, we say, as a true 4-H'er, I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands for larger service, and my health for better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world. And a lot of kids, I grew up in the program, so even when the first thing we do is say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then the first thing right after that is the 4-H pledge. So even at a business meeting, if we say the Pledge of Allegiance, I'm immediately as a true, wait, we gotta sit down.
You never forget.
Yes, so it's something that's kind of instilled in us to benefit not only ourselves, but our community. So every project or every club also does community service to better their community. And we have big conversations with kids about, what their community is like and where they see their community is going and where they want it to go, and how they can change that.
Do kids usually have a passion for making their communities better, or is it just, I want to find something that's cool to do?
There's those kids who are I want something cool to do, and some that want to do it because, they have friends that do it. And then there's kids that have genuine passions. So we have, right now we have 2 high school youth who are putting together big events, and they're trying to get things back going from COVID, because obviously COVID kind of halted us for a little bit. But they are, doing events that they're passionate about, that they can hopefully inspire other kids to get passionate about.
Talk to me about the age range. Who is the typical audience for the 4-H program?
So we are ages 5 through 19, which a lot of people
That's a big
think
range.
it is a big range. A lot of people think that we're just high school or just elementary school, but we kind of cater to all. We have different programs that have.
Can you give me an idea of like the younger ages? Like what type of things would they be involved with?
So 5 to 8 is our primaries. They're what we call our Clover Buds. They can do everything and anything except for our large animals. So there's some days that they're like, I want to show my dog. Like, okay, let's show a dog. I actually have a group of boys right now who want to show cats. They saw YouTube videos on cat shows, and I'm like, okay, well, let's do it.
I've never heard of the phrase herding cats. It can't be done.
Well, cats and boys, it's going to be real interesting if we get it accomplished, for sure.
So what do you find enjoyable about, like you said, teaching these young people, sort of giving them these skills? It's not just an after-school program to kind of waste time, after school. It's about giving them skills that they're going to use to make a better life, to find a career, to find, like you said, their passion. Is that part of the appeal in having that role, in sort of nurturing that?
It is, and since we're volunteer run, all of our volunteers are passionate about what projects they lead. So our volunteers volunteer their time, volunteer lots of money, volunteer, animals, they volunteer their home spaces, and they are passionate about that subject area. So we have leaders who no longer have kids at home, and they still, are leading 4-H clubs and going out of their way to, helping kids find their passion, even though that their kids or their grandkids are no longer in the area.
You mentioned that, talk to me about the organizational structure. There are clubs throughout the county, approximately how many, and are they geographically based, or would I join a club based on the type of projects they put on?
So we're unique. There's about 12 clubs in the county. San Bernardino is very, very large. When I go speak at other conferences, I always start off with, we're over 20,000 acres and 2.1 million people, right? So this isn't an easy thing to get us all together. We have 12 clubs throughout the county. Those clubs can hold whatever projects they want. Like I said, if the volunteer wants to do it, the volunteer does it. If your club doesn't offer a project and another club does in our county, you can go to that one. So we're all inclusive.
You're not limited to
we're
like
not
the club
limited,
that's in the
yeah.
town that you live in. Okay.
Pretty much. So.
And then I understand there are fees to join. What is the typical? What do the fees include? Like,
so our fees are $100 for the year. It covers everything. So everything. The only thing that we don't cover is the cost of the animal and like the feed and the shelter of it. There are some kids who get that donated because they're very great at public speaking, and they'll go ask for donations and they'll get them. But that's pretty much what we don't cover, is just the animals and the.
And if anybody's wondering, like, what is the typical time commitment? Like, is this a weekly activity or monthly meetings?
So,
and it might fluctuate by club?
It does fluctuate. Actually, my kids were in the program. I was in the program. So what I like to explain it is we have our club meetings. They're once a month. They're about an hour. And then we have our project meetings. So if your kid's in one project, they're going to have one club meeting and one project meeting. So that's 2 hours a month. Our projects are a minimum of 6 hours of hands-on learning time for the whole year. So from July 1st to June 30th, you got 6 hours. So some club leaders go over that 6 hours and they'll have one every month. Some club leaders do it maybe every other month, or they'll skip, Thanksgiving and Christmas months because it's busy for everybody. But generally we have about 12 hours of work throughout the year for that one project.
You mentioned earlier that you rely very heavily on volunteers. What are some of the ways that folks can get involved in a volunteer capacity?
So most of our parents are volunteers. Obviously, we don't require the parents to stay, but they end up staying and then they end up becoming volunteers. It's nice to know that, it's a family kind of unit, what we do request is that they do like an interest survey, why they want to do it, what areas would they be good at, what areas do they not want to do.
Sure.
Like some kids, you know, some parents are like, I can do, you know, maybe cooking, but don't ask me to do anything animal related, right? And then they'll go do a background check. We background check all of our volunteers, and
Which
then
is standard. I mean,
which
that's
is
for any
standard.
sort of adult
and
participation.
then we also do a yearly training. So every adult volunteer goes through a yearly training.
So I think I want to make sure we let people know, how can people find out about the program, where to join, how to volunteer, where can people go?
So it's all on our website, sbc4h.com.
Okay.
And we have a how to join tab, and it goes through all the steps. It goes through the enrollment, it has all the links. And then we do have a resource page where it does talk about like any upcoming events or like fair or any kind of like forms or information that you might like look into. That would be on that page.
For you, what is the most satisfying part of your role?
I think because I am an alumni, I kind of bleed green. It's a passion of mine. I actually went to college, started college as, you know, interested in being a doctor. I wanted to be a neurologist. And then I got more into 4-H, and I love doing programming. So I do all kinds of programming. We just debuted a new Sphero program where we play soccer. We're going to hold a big soccer tournament. We partner with San Bernardino County Superintendent of Schools for their extended learning program. And so, you know, it's nice to know that we can help kids find their passion and keep them busy and out of trouble without like adding more work to their plate. So while we're adding more work to their plate, they're not like, they
Well, but
don't
it's something
think
they're
it's
interested
work.
in.
It is something they're
You
interested
know, like
in.
you said, nurturing that spark into a flame. And I think what was interesting is, you know, you yourself said, well, I want to be this one thing, but I actually found that I really like doing this other thing. And
Yeah.
so I think some kids may come into a program like this thinking, no, I know what I want to be. I've known what I want to be, and my parents want me to be this. And then they find out, I actually like this instead, and this is going to make me happy.
Yeah.
So it must be rewarding to kind of, you know, let people really legitimately find the thing that
It
lights
is,
that
and like I
spark.
said, we have a youth. She loves all thing cattles, so she's holding a clinic for everybody in the county for all the kids who show cattle, and she's doing it all on her own. Like she's like, this is what she wants to do, and she's, you know, going to college to do ag-related stuff. So I know that's an animal thing. We also have a kid, a senior, who loves running. That's all he does is run. He went to one of our color runs one year, and now he is trying to get our Healthy Living Summit back up and running. So he's the plan is there's a group of boys. They want to do like have a nutritionist come and talk, like maybe do like, I want to say an aerobics class or like a kickboxing class, and then do a color run, and then have a picnic and go swimming, and
Nothing that you would think is part of 4-H.
Yeah,
Most people
nothing
would
that
never
you would think
assume
of
that was
part of 4-H. But they like being outside, like going hiking, they like doing running and like nutrition stuff, and that's what their passion is. So they are wanting to put this event together for the summer. So that's what they're doing.
Emily Watson, it's so wonderful. So many wonderful things happening at San Bernardino County 4-H. I want to make sure we give the web address again. It is sbc4h.com. Thank you so
Yes.
much for being on the program.
Thank you for having me.